Hi everybody on YouTube. This is going to be my first installment starting a prepper channel, and it's going to be my prepper channel, just the way that I'm going to do things, for me in my area. I've been awake for a long time, since at least 2008, about the state of the not just our country but the world, and how things are deteriorating more faster and faster. And you can see that especially nowadays. Within the last few months, I've seen it really deteriorate quickly, more and more, with the abortions. By the way, today is it's Good Friday. It is April 19th, 2019. And like I said, I've been prepping, a little bit, not into it fully, not like I should have been, for at least since the Sandy Hook incident happened. Right after that, I stocked up on a lot of ammo and bought a couple more firearms, but never really did much after that. A little bit of long-term storage food, some freeze-dried food, but not much, just maybe enough to sustain my family for 2 weeks to a month. But now I'm looking at more long-term storage and prepping. And so I'm going to start this channel just to show my progression to the way I'm going to utilize it. Everybody knows you need water is the most essential, and I'm going to start off with that: water and some food, some basics. So this is just an introduction to what I'm about to bring. It's going to be, some like right now I'm on my way to. I live in a suburban area of West Virginia. So, and I'm heading out to what, if I ever needed to have a bug out location, it's my bug out location, but really it's my bug in location, where I would hunker down in a crisis, an EMP type situation, or just whatever. Really, that's the extreme, is the EMPs, or total grid down scenarios for long term, because if that happens, it's not going to be long before rioting and people are lose their minds. And I can tell you, we had in 2012, June 30th, 2012, we had a really bad storm that came through here, called the derecho in 2012. It was on June 30th, 2012, and it happened on a Friday evening, about 6 or 7 o'clock at night. And thankfully, that winter before, we'd had some pretty bad snowstorms. I went out and bought a generator. So, and I had stored up some gas. And this derecho blew through on June 30th in 2012. And it left a whole swath of hundreds and hundreds of miles of cities, towns, everything from, I don't know how far it spread, but it started coming through up by like Indiana, up in there, or maybe even Illinois. Not sure of that swath, but it cut across Ohio, then through West Virginia, and it left a swath of devastation. I mean, there were trees down everywhere. There was so much power outage. One of my friends, he lives in a nearby county where his mom, it was a rural area, Calhoun County, West Virginia. His mom was out of power for a month, and a complete month, 28 days or 29, 30 days, something like that. And thankfully, where we were, there was a couple little spotty areas of the Mid-Ohio Valley that had a little bit of power here and there, but I'm going to have to say about 90% of the power in this area was completely off. My block that I live on, the dead end part, had power. Just down the road, about 100 yards down the road, they were completely out of power for, I think it was 6 or 8 days. And we were going through a heat wave. And you could see people just had all their doors and windows wide open, sitting out on their porches or out on their step in their yard, trying to get some type of relief. But what I'm trying to get at is something I noticed during this storm is that they say that the stores have about 3 days worth of food in them. I can tell you for sure that's not true. It happened on a Friday night, about 6 o'clock in the evening. We didn't know the extent of the storm and the power outages until the next day. I went down the road. I was going to go get some gas, and there was one station that was open down the road that was open, and the line was down the street. And this was at 8 o'clock in the morning, the next morning. So this was only about 14 hours later. And they were already getting into fistfights at the gas station. What was going on is the people that were parked in the cars waiting for the gas, they were waiting online, and other people would come up with 5-gallon or 6-gallon cans and cut across in front of everybody. And, the people didn't like it. They were literally getting into altercations right at the gas pumps. This is only 14 hours after this storm blew through. And as far as I know, I think there was only, in this area, there was 2 or possibly 3 gas stations that were open. And there was one gas station down the road that was open that was charging $10 a gallon for gas. And they were gouging. And so people were going to the other gas stations, but waiting hours upon hours. There are people running out of fuel right online, couldn't do anything. Just 14 hours later. And so later that day, we had full tanks of gas. I was just going to top off. And when I saw the line, I was like, nah, I got enough gas. I had some storage gas in my shed anyway, so we were okay. But my wife went to the store later, to a Foodland down here that was in that area, that was one of the only open Foodlands, the only open grocery store. And another thing is that if there's no power, you can't use a credit card. That's done. You better have some cash. But when she went there around, I'm going to say around in the afternoon, around between 12 and 2 in the afternoon. So not even still a full day. When she went there, it was already slim pickings. The shelves were already bare and empty. There were a few items on the shelves, and now, there was a woman there. There was like an empty shelf, and there was like 1 or 2 items on the shelf, and the woman said, "Do you want that?" And my wife said no, it wasn't. She was considering buying. So I don't even know what it was. A bag of rice. I don't know what it was, but she considered buying it. And the other woman asked her nicely, "Is that something you want?" And she didn't want it. So we saw the good and the bad. We saw the bad quickly, where there were altercations. They were fighting on waiting for gas lines the very next day. So I'm going to tell you, if you hear that you only have 3 days of food in the grocery stores, I'm telling you right now, that's not true. They're going to be empty so quickly, your head's going to spin. So if you are not prepared to endure, 3 to 5 days right off the bat, where the power out here was out in some places for up to a month, but they got the power restored within 6 to 8 days in our area, but that was a long 6 to 8 days in a heat wave. People were miserable. There was nothing open but a few places. The gas, everybody was waiting on the gas trucks to come, and when they came, they were sold out in hours. a few hours. So I'm telling you, be prepared. This is what my channel is going to be, to help, get a little insight, and people can contribute and put their insight in it. But I saw with that storm, I saw the good in that also, where people were kind to one another, but I saw how fast people also will go bad. You're going to have extremes. You're going to have, the good people and the bad people. Not necessarily saying they're bad, but they're desperate. And a desperate person can be a very dangerous person. So, but if you're prepared ahead of time, you won't have to go out and fight that and deal with that. So that's what I'm going to focus on is, from the beginning. I don't have I don't have much stored up right now. I'm starting from the beginning, and the next part is going to be what I'm going to stock up first for long term. When I say long term, I'm just talking in the beginning, maybe 30 days to 6 months, and then build from that. But that's what I'm going to be doing on this channel, and trying to help people, and maybe people can leave comments and give their insight on things too. But I just wanted to show from a perspective of, I saw an emergency state and how quickly it can go bad. So can you imagine if a total grid down situation occurs, what's going to happen? It's not going to be pretty. And I can tell you, you don't have 3 days to get to the grocery store. You don't even have 1 day. So why not be prepared now? The more people that are prepared now, the less problems you're going to have out in the world, and you can help your neighbors. Jesus said, help thy neighbor, love thy neighbor as yourself. So, and by the way, I'm a Christian, and I'm going to preach Christianity. I'm going to preach Jesus Christ. So hopefully you enjoyed this, and you will look forward to making my next video. I don't know when I'll publish this one. This is, like I said, it's Good Friday. It's Resurrection Sunday is 2 days from now. So, but if you have any suggestions or comments that you want to leave, just like I said, this is the first channel I'm ever doing, really, so I don't know how to edit things and whatnot. So it's probably not going to be edited. It's going to be raw, just the way it is. So I thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll get some subscribers, and we can go on this journey together. If you're thinking about prepping, you've kind of been on the fence, like I have been, honestly, for quite a few years. We'll join this together. We'll go through this journey together, and maybe help one another. And that's what you're going to need in the worst case scenario. And there's many different aspects to prepping. In a bad situation, things that you're not even going to be aware of until it happens. But the more you can be prepared now, the better off you're going to be. All right, well, thanks for watching. I hope you'll stay tuned, and have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Have a great day. Bye for now.